Hello, my name is Elina Pelikan, and welcome back to my scriptorium. Today, we're still in my home church working on a series of icons for the walls of the church. Last time we spoke, we were talking about garments, about what the saints wear, and I was working on a set of icons of ascetical fathers. They are now currently up on the wall, and you can see them all installed with their gold and with their names. This is another set that's going to go into another arch. Lots of wonderful saints with different garments and different stories for us to venerate and to learn from. But let's get to our session today. Today, we're going to talk about animals in icons. You can find animals in so many different icons for so many different reasons, and we all love looking at pictures of animals, so this is an extra fun subject. Over the years, I've collected lots of different books of icons, so I'd like to talk a little bit about how we see animals in icons. The first way we see animals in icons is when they're a part of the story, like Jonah and the whale. So you can see there, he's coming right out of the whale. We also could see Saint Elijah with the crow that would bring him food when he was out in the wilderness, or when he's carried off with a fiery chariot with fiery horses. That's a wonderful one. We also see animals in stories of our feasts, of course, like Nativity. In Nativity, you have the ox and the donkey, you have goats and sheep, and you have horses. Now some of them are both in the story and they're symbolic. We'll get to those later. Right here, we have a close-up of the ox and the donkey. Notice that the animals are presented stylized, just like we do our faces in these icons. They're not photorealistic, which makes them very fun to work on. Here we have a picture of a saint riding a lion. This is a part of the saint's story. It's very exciting to see. Here we have more of Saint Elijah, including the fiery chariot with the fiery horses. Now, sometimes the animals are just symbolic, like we have the evangelists very often in domes of churches. You'll have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John with their creatures, with the lion, with the eagle, and those are symbolic creatures. We also have, of course, dragons. Dragons are beautiful symbolic creatures that are always portrayed very differently. St. George is here slaying the dragon, and you have the princess in the tower. Today, we are going to do a challenge where we learn to paint a dragon. Dragons are particularly fun to draw because while they are symbolic creatures that mean evil and darkness, they're not some sort of a scientific species or class that has a specific sort of body type or shape or color. And so if you'll notice, when we look at the same icon of St. George, every single one of these dragons has different features. They have different colors. They have different body shapes. One thing you'll notice is they all have large mouths with sharp teeth. That is a constant. Many of them have wings. They all need claws or something that makes them sort of otherworldly and scary looking. They are lizard creatures. They have often scales and these pokey, spiky things, right? Sometimes they look more like snakes. This one is all swirly like this, right? But if you look around at icons of dragons, you'll notice that each of them has a slightly different take. And that is why today we're going to make a dragon and we're going to make our own choices. So the first thing we're going to decide is the shape we want, the face. I'm going to take my pencil. This pencil's a nice big dark pencil. I'm working on prepared canvas. This is a scrap from one of my icons, but you can work on paper or in a book and just draw them anywhere. Don't draw them anywhere that somebody's going to be too afraid, because dragons can be scary. So let's see, I'm going to go on and look at this guy's face right here. I think he's got a really cool face. We're going to start with a mouth. He has a big gaping mouth. Right, there's his mouth right there. And then I'm going to give him, he's got a nose. Right here, he's got a nose. And then his face is going to come up here. I'll have an eye right there. right? Now he's gonna have these little things right here, and then now we're gonna go into this body shape. Let's see, I think for the body shape, I'm gonna go a little more with this guy. So his head is up there, and his body's gonna kind of curl around up here. You don't have to be careful with this shape. I'm gonna make his tail kind of curl around a little bit. This is a loose shape. I'm drawing from the shoulder there, right? Here, he's gonna have to have some fangs for sure, right? And we've got the spikes. The spikes are gonna come around this way. Now we're gonna give him these wings. I think we'll have a wing right here. Yeah. So his tail's coming over here. He's got sort of a point on the tail. Right. Yeah. This is where we're going with him. And if yours looks different, that's fine. Draw several dragons. Just play around with them. See what you want to do. It's good to draw by looking. You also can, of course, trace them. I've taught you all how to trace. I'm going to pull his chin in a little bit here. Now, let's see, for this eye. An angry eye. Give him a tongue. Now, I'm going to take my marker. I'm going to go over my lines. Just the lines I like. As it twists around this way, comes up this way. And then we go into the tail. Tail comes this way, but we're gonna kind of curl that under. We're gonna make this wider here because it starts from wide. There we go, that'll do. We'll put the tail there. We'll put something on the edge of it. We're gonna continue this sort of fur spikies all the way into the end. There we go. Okay, now we need his wing. And he needs more layers here. Now the reason why I like to work with black is the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint him with acrylic paints because that's what's meant to do on this. Now you can color yours in with crayons or colored pencils. Or watercolors or anything that you like to do. But when I am working on just covering a whole space, I get to do something kind of fun. I'm just gonna go like this. Now I need a paintbrush. From here, we can add all sorts of details. We can continue to add scales. We can add some detail to those eyes. We can really just have fun pulling out all of the drama of the darkness of the dragon. If you are working on your dragon at home, have fun with it, play with it. These are very mythological, they're very symbolic, and they're very much a part of our ethos as Orthodox Christians. So they're a good thing to practice drawing without having to stick to any specific canon of lines and shapes. Thank you for joining me today in my scriptorium. I hope you learned a thing or two about animals in icons, and I hope that you have made your own dragon and you had fun. Remember that drawing and painting, all of this is a skill, and we learn by doing. So the more you practice, the better you get. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time on Icons for Kids.